Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello viewers, I met these wonderful ladies and somewhere in a clinic, and for the first time I was dazed because they actually know what migraine means. I mean, migraine is a diagnosis that's often misunderstood by an average layman. I'll ask them again and then I'll just say a few things about migraine. Okay, so introduce yourself.
So hi guys, I'm Killer and we're here talking about migraine. Migraine is a side headache.
Yes.
Hi guys, I'm Roman. So in migraine is actually a fever.
No, it's fine, it's fine. The fact that they called migraine a side headache for me, and that's very impressive. Okay, what is migraine? Migraine, let me first say what migraine is not. What people usually call migraine. Migraine is not a banging headache. Some people, when they have a banging headache, they say, doctor, I have migraine. And what they simply want to say is that they have an headache, a banging one. And migraine is also not a serious headache. When they say they have a serious headache, they say, doctor, I have migraine. And when you prove further, you say, what do you mean by migraine? They say they have a serious headache. So migraine is not those. So what is migraine? Like they rightly said, one-sided headache. It could be a left-sided headache or a right-sided headache. It's usually one-sided. And in addition, there are other symptoms too. For instance, there could also be what we call photophobia, which is aversion to light, shyness away from light. So when they're experiencing the headache, when they look at light, it's like it's unbearable. They can't bear it. They also have aversion to noise. Phonophobia. Photophobia is aversion to light, and then phonophobia is aversion to sound. And sometimes they could feel nauseated, like they feel a feeling of vomiting and so on. When people have migraine, they tell you they want to be in a quiet environment, in a dark room and a quiet room.
I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
What about smoke? Like sometimes when I smell fumes from car smoke, I have headache, serious headache.
That's a very brilliant one there. I must commend you for that question. Now, there are different causes of headache. Migraine is just one of the many causes of headache. Most likely, your experience or the diagnosis you have is what we call carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide is the gas that you get from the exhaust from cars and all of that. Normally, when you have, what do you call this thing in science? Combustion. Yes, you remember. When you have combustion, normally you have production of carbon dioxide, CO2. CO2 is harmless, as it were. That's what we even exhale, right? We breathe out carbon dioxide. But when you have incomplete combustion, I remember my chemistry very well. Wow. When you have incomplete combustion, instead of carbon dioxide, you have carbon monoxide, CO, instead of CO2. You get it? That CO is very dangerous. It's toxic to the body. So when people inhale CO, one of the early symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning is headache. In fact, actually, CO poisoning can be so terrible. You hear of people who put on generator, I passed my neighbor jet. You've heard of those stories, and they slept. You hear that by the time people woke up, father, mother, and children, very, very terrible cases, and they woke up, they were dead because of generator exhaust. And that's why a lesson here is whenever you run machines that produce smoke, that's why it's always advised to keep it a distance away from where you stay and to let the exhaust go out there in open air, so that chances of you inhaling carbon monoxide will be reduced. So that's a case of carbon monoxide poisoning. Okay.
Apart from lack of sleep, what else causes that?
That's where lack of sleep also comes in, and then stress is also another factor. But there are some food items that can trigger migraine. You might not have heard about this, like chocolate.
I don't like chocolate either.
Chocolate can be a trigger. Tomatoes, and then cheese, red wine. I'll put up the list of the triggers. I'll display it.
Common food items that can trigger a migraine headache include chocolate, tomatoes, red wine, cheese, alcohol, citrus fruit, aspartame, tyramine, yeast, and so on. Food affects all migraine sufferers differently. Some food may trigger the attack for some persons, and may not for the others. So how do you identify the food item that is actually triggering your attacks? The best thing you can do is to examine your eating habits and identify patterns that could be potential triggers. Do a recall of your diet 24 hours prior to the attack and list them like a food diary. See if there is a food item that is consistent with every attack. If something is a trigger, an attack will likely hit 12 to 24 hours post-consumption. You'll be able to trace the pain back to the source. This way, you can start to recognize what spurs your headaches.
Yeah, people who have migraine should stay away from those food items as much as possible. Any other person?
Yes.
It's been nice having you.
Thanks.
And thank you for
watching the channel. Make sure to subscribe and like and share.
You heard them. After you will not listen to me, let's say you don't want to listen to me. You should listen to this video.
But sometimes you people watch and don't like and subscribe. That's not meant to be. They are meant to like, subscribe, and share.
Tell them. So thank you for bringing this up. They actually brought it up, and I just remember that truly, I mean, people should know what migraine is. I hope this has been helpful. So always remember, your health comes first.